Alrighty, guys, welcome back. Earlier, we were discussing the NFL free agency and the Dallas Cowboys, and now we're going to be discussing, does Caitlin Clark need to win a title to be the women's greatest of all time? Caitlin Clark is sparking up some conversations lately.
You know what though? Here's the thing. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Caitlin Clark is the first woman that has really grabbed the media attention.
Mm-hmm.
So much has come about with her. Like a lot of times, women, if they get the spotlight, it's just for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
It's Simone Biles, it's Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we are all excited, and then it's like, okay, go away. It's okay. This is the one female athlete that I feel like may have staying power.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying this is being sexist. I'm saying this because I am a supporter of women's athletics.
Mm-hmm.
And she is a beacon of hope that if she can move on to the WNBA and dominate,
Mm-hmm.
that would help so many other women
Mm-hmm.
in the game.
Absolutely.
She has the ability to lift up women's basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Once upon a time, and I know there's people that are gonna flip out when I say this, but the NBA was in massive trouble. They were
Mm-hmm.
on verge of bankruptcy. And Magic Johnson and Larry Bird literally saved the NBA from going under
Mm-hmm.
and propelled it to brand new heights and got the views and everything. And then they passed the baton to Michael Jordan, and the NBA is this massive league. But go back and look at it and how horrible the ratings were, how hard it was to get the NBA on television,
Mm-hmm.
kind of the way the WNBA is right now.
Mm-hmm.
People just don't watch the WNBA. When you look at the numbers, it's not there.
Yeah.
It needs a Caitlin Clark to rise things up to get more people watching.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more excited about the women's NCAA tournament this year than I am the men's,
Mm-hmm.
strictly because of that one woman. I'm going to probably watch more of the women's tournament than the men's tournament this year, strictly because of who she is. So when they say, is she the greatest of all time? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, she's in the conversation.
Well, they're saying
Hmm.
that she hasn't won a championship yet, so she can't be the greatest of all time because she hasn't won a championship yet. So it's up for debate.
Okay. They go around and everyone is putting this whole kind of Michael Jordan moniker on things that if you haven't won six championships, you're nothing.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan, he walked on water, you know, fed the homeless, baptized babies while floating in the air, dunking on fools.
You make him
You
sound
know.
like he's Jesus.
And but championships are a team sport.
Mm-hmm.
I remember Michael Jordan getting bumped out of the playoffs time after time after time
Mm-hmm.
until he ended up getting the players around him, the
Mm-hmm.
Scottie Pippens, the Horace Grants, later on the Rodmans, and all those guys to create a great team. Championships are a team sport.
Mm-hmm.
So you can take that whole, you got to win a championship, put it in a box, close it up, and throw it out the window. I don't buy it.
Mm-hmm.
But when I look at what her impact on the game, that's what makes someone great, is their impact on the game. And she has definitely had a massive impact on the game.
Mm-hmm.
And she has the ability to furthered the game more than any woman in the history of basketball has ever done.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the Cheryl Millers of the world. People don't realize how great Cheryl Miller was.
Mm-hmm.
That's Reggie Miller's sister. Many times they talked about how Reggie would talk about how Cheryl was better than him.
Mm-hmm.
Reggie Miller, Hall of Fame basketball player, his sister, in my opinion, was actually better. Diana Taurasi, she's an unreal player, but she doesn't have that spotlight like Caitlin Clark.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that Caitlin Clark has the ability to, in my eyes, put a spotlight in the NCAA tournament where they're expecting record numbers of viewing for the women's basketball tournament this year, strictly because of her, makes her one of the greats. When you look at her, what she's done in scoring, makes her one of the greats. Does she need to win a tournament to be considered the greatest of all time? I don't think so. But I tell you what, if she did, that shuts all these fools up.
Yeah. Well,
what else can there's, but, and I'm gonna tell you, because I've talked to numerous people about her. A lot of people do not want to give her the credit. And I keep hearing this over and over. Wait till she gets to the WNBA. Those girls are going to shut her down. Those girls are going to shut her down. Well, I hope they don't. Mm-hmm. And if you're a WNBA fan, that's the last thing you really want to see happen. Because this woman is box office. Yeah. This woman is going to get television deals for the WNBA. This woman's going to create a bigger contract for college women's sports in general. Mm-hmm. And that's a good thing for all. If she's bringing more eyes and more money to women's sports, she's already the GOAT. Mm-hmm. Just like Serena brought a lot more eyes to women's tennis, she's the GOAT. Because women's sports, there are thousands of spectacular athletes out there that nobody knows about strictly because they're a woman. Mm-hmm. She's the GOAT because she's bringing attention to the women's game, and I love it. Mm-hmm. So she's already the GOAT in my eyes because she's doing great things for women and women's sports. And I don't care that she's a skinny white girl from Iowa. Game is game. Mm-hmm. Deal with the fact of what she's doing. And what she's doing on the court right now is second to none. Mm-hmm. No one has done what she has done on the court. When you're looking at numbers, no one has done what she has done as far as viewers, butts in the seat. That's called greatness.
Yeah, I think I read somewhere that Iowa's basketball game tickets have like skyrocketed since Caitlin Clark has been playing.
Before Caitlin Clark got there, outside of if you're living in Iowa or your mom or dad went to Iowa, or your baby's mama's cousin went to Iowa.
Becky went to Iowa.
Becky, she went to Iowa. Who was like, oh man, Iowa's women's basketball team is on TV.
I gotta watch that.
Sorry, I can't go out to dinner tonight because Iowa is playing. Yeah. You want to come over and watch Iowa women's basketball? No. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Caitlin, now you say Iowa's women's basketball, you think of Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
People are curious. I had never watched an Iowa's women's basketball game in my life. Never even thought about it as as a thing that even exists. It's kind of like that tree in the forest that you didn't know fell down.
Yeah.
Didn't even you knew it was there, but you didn't really think about it. All of a sudden, I'm turning on highlights and watching entire games of Iowa because I want to see if Caitlin Clark's the real deal. I want to
Mm-hmm.
see her game. I'm curious about her game. That's greatness.
Yeah.
Greatness is when the casual fan, when you're not a regular fan and you're like, I have to tune in to see what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
People are tuning in to see what they're talking about. And they're talking about Caitlin Clark, the GOAT, the
Yeah.
woman that's breaking all the basketball records, that's breaking all the viewing records.
Mm-hmm.
If you got the scoring record and you're getting the butts in the seats and the eyes on the TV, that's called greatness.
Yeah.
Deal with it.
Yeah, and I definitely feel like, if Caitlin Clark was a man, this stuff wouldn't be in question right now, and it wouldn't be such a heated debate as to whether or not they're the greatest or whatever.
See, these things kind of came along at a different time. It's what she's doing for women's sports, and that's what I care about.
Yeah.
That's what I care about is give this woman her due. People show up and watch the games.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to watch the games just because I want extra ratings to go there.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch. If you care about women and women's sport, tune in and watch it because that helps all tides rise.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm for that.
Period. Me
Didn't
too.
mean to get all. I totally got on my soapbox on this one.
But I'm happy about it. Good. It's great to hear. Good job.
Thank you. Well, I cured Faith I'm about to say hangover, migraine with my speech.
Alrighty, guys. Well, with that, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to dive into our oddities of the day, so make sure you stay tuned.